Okay, is everyone's bladder empty? Good. Everyone's bladder is empty but mine. That means I keep the lesson less than 3 hours. Because how do you do the pee-pee dance when you're sitting? Okay, so we've explored the cornerstone of this practice. Concentration, letting go. Or as you could say, awareness, letting go. And now we're going to flesh it out. So we come to the third exercise on page 2, and it says spontaneous awareness training. And it's got all these electives and all these brackets, and it doesn't make any sense. It says what, blank, and then there's all these bracketed words, and then it says, am I now experiencing? When I put them together, you get, what am I now experiencing? And that in and of itself is a legitimate question. So right now, let's play with that. Let's sit up as upright as we know how. Let's tuck our index fingers under our thumbs. And let's 3 times let's play with what am I now experiencing? Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Now, if you wanted to, that's a legitimate practice, but sometimes, there's ways of fleshing it out. And so if you wanted to, you could ask, what breathing am I now experiencing, or what action am I now experiencing? Obviously, the action of sitting on our tushies. What feeling am I now experiencing? What sound am I now experiencing? So I don't know about you, but some of the sounds annoy me. Like the sound of a yappy dog, or the sound of a cat and heat meowing incessantly, or the sound of a crying child. At first, it's heartbreaking, but after a while, it gets annoying. Come on, let's face it. We have ugly thumbs, all of us. We don't just close our eyes and conjugate Latin. What side am I now experiencing? I love watching sunsets at the beach. It's exquisite. And so you can ask, what side am I now experiencing? Om Mani Padme Hum. That's an awesome meditation. But 9 times out of 10, what drives us to meditate, what drives us like a leaf in the wind, us crappy emotions, sucky feelings. Whether it's, in art class, the 3 primary colors. It can be said the 3 primary colors of negative emotions are probably, sorrow and anger and fear. And you can put an edge on it. You can hem and haw. Well, it's not really fear. It's more like subtle anxiety. Well, who cares? It's fear. You don't even have to. You can practice in a vague manner if you want. Say, ask what feeling am I now experiencing? And that works. Whether it's a physical sensation, an emotional sensation, what have you. And play with this. It works. I've taught this technique to people who've been, who were, how you can sometimes sense a breakup on the horizon, you're getting all these warning signs, and then finally you get critical mass and you know it's coming. And, guys, there's 2 days in every relationship. The day when you can do no wrong in your girl's eyes. The day when you can do no right in your girl's eyes. You can call up the writers in Hollywood. Hey, is this the guy who wrote the romantic comedy? What do I do now? He'll say, nothing. You're fucked. It's over. So when I've taught this technique to people, and they're able to practice this, lying in bed when their heart's breaking at night. And it works. It eases their pain. And when they wake up tossing and turning, they go back to practicing it. And they're able to get back to sleep. And they wake up the next morning knowing, okay, well, she's probably going to break out with me, but it doesn't make me happy, but it's not killing me either. So these techniques know they will not lobotomize us. They will not take away our feelings, but they will tame them. And the irony is, kind of like this. Pretend we're in the Bronze Age, or whenever they domesticated, horses. And let's pretend you're a farmer. You wake up in the morning, there's this odd-looking beast eating your cabbage. How dare he, the bastard. Well, you can chase it away with your pitchfork, Or you could harness the beast. You could, put a bit in its mouth, a bridle over its head, strap it to the plow, and have it work the back 40 before breakfast. By harnessing our negative emotions, we're using it to increase our devotion, our awareness, and our wisdom of letting go. And so not only are we getting a mastery over our emotions, a mastery over our experience in our own bodies and our circumstance, we're actually evolving us. So not only are we enduring the crap emotions, but we're going to benefit from them. That's what I like to call divine irony. So right now, let's ask, what feeling am I now experiencing? Om Mani Padme Hum. Taking your index fingers, let's do this 3 times. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. And perhaps you've noticed we're not intoning at the top of our lungs. You can intone at any volume you feel comfortable with. When I'm riding around on the trolleys to go shopping, I'm very, very quiet. I'm quiet like a mouse, because I don't want to get the old slam down, because I bruise easy. So you can practice this as quiet as you want. You have to worry about waking up your spouse, or your kids, or your pets, if your pets are, lethal in their affection. At home, on my screensaver, I have pictures of these poor women meditating, and their dogs won't let them. The dogs are like sitting in their laps with their head over their shoulders saying, "Mom, no, meditate on me. Meditate on my tummy." Dogs say that, they really do. You can't hear that? All the time, I tell you. So now we're going to now that we've harnessed the energy of awareness and brought it into the path of yucky emotion, or vice versa, we're now going to drag those yucky emotions into the path of deconstructing, of letting go. And once again, this is not faith-oriented. Because let's face it, faith is just the flip side of fear. Faith, more often than not, is a contrivance. Okay, I'm going to make myself believe this regardless of what I feel, physically or emotionally or logically or intellectually. That creates tension. That's hard work. And it requires willpower. And eventually willpower fails us. Willpower always fails us. That's why we have 12-step programs. Because willpower, there's a limit to how far willpower will take us. And so if we're relying on something, to believe in something, then when we need it the most, it's going to fail us because we're weak